Today's guest is Fredrik Austbø. He's a pioneering figure in skateboarding who achieved remarkable success as a dual pro athlete in both skateboarding and snowboarding, peaking at 300 plus yearly travel days. And in 2003, at just 15, he won the Norwegian skateboarding championships in both street park and bowl, showcasing his versatility and dominance in the sport. His early talent led to his recruitment by the Session team in the late 1990s, where he became a key figure in Norway's skateboarding scene. Austbø's unique skills enabled him to win numerous European skateboarding championships in the early 2000s, establishing him as one to watch. He also dominated European snowboarding competitions in the early 2000s, demonstrating his technical precision and bold style. And at only 17, he became Norway's youngest Winter Olympian since Sonja Hennie. Competing in halfpipe at the 2006 Torino Olympics and later competing in halfpipe at the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. Beyond competing, he co-founded the 3,500 square meter action sports center, Playground, fostering the next generation of skaters. He also leads Uro Studios, a sustainable sneaker brand, further cementing his influence in street and skate culture. And now, dear friends, my conversation with Fredrik Austbø. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. And I remember when I was a youngster, maybe 11, 12, 13, 14, something like that, I used to watch a lot of skateboarding competitions regionally, locally, and quite often you were competing in the competitions. And one of the things that struck me was how rarely you sort of fell off the board. You always were very stable and had this amazing balance. And I guess there's probably a lot of reasons to that, but I guess one of them is maybe that you started out quite early. When did you actually start out and how did you get introduced to skateboarding?
I started when I was 9 years old. It all started in the street where I grew up.
Yeah.
And it was a friend of mine. He was a couple of years older than me. And his dad was in Sweden and came back with a skateboard to him. And that's when I first kind of saw a skateboard. And I was like, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And so I got to borrow it a couple of times and I just got hooked right away. That's the only thing I wanted to do. And I went every day to him, can I try your skateboard? Can I try your skateboard? So in the end, I guess he talked to my parents and just told them he needs a skateboard.
Yeah.
I'm over him coming over and taking my board all the time.
Exactly.
So then when I was 9, I got a skateboard for my birthday from my parents. And it all kind of started from there.
And you grew up quite close to a skateboarding park as well, or a street park at Tasta.
Yeah.
So you had some opportunities to try out, different tricks early on.
Yeah, definitely. And the skateboarding community too in Stavanger and snowboarding community was really good. It was a good amount of skateboarders pretty early. And when I started when I was 9, that skate park wasn't there already. So it was after a couple of years that skate park came.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but it was small skate parks that people have built just for fun.
Yeah, okay.
Around on parking lots and all that. So pretty early I got under the old guys' wings to join them around Stavanger and skate. So that was good.
Yeah, mentorship I think is very important in a lot of settings and can really sort of propel you forwards.
Yeah.
How did it evolve from there? I mean, you started out at 9, maybe a few years later, as you mentioned, there was, some better skateboarding facilities nearby. You met up with some local people who had been skateboarding for a while. There was some mentorship there. How did it evolve from there? And when did you realize that you could pursue skateboarding in a professional manner?
It started off pretty early. I mean, I was lucky that I came in at the right time, kind of, because the community was pretty strong. And the skateboarding culture is, I would say that's one of the best cultures out there because it's really open. It doesn't matter where you're from, how old you are, how you dress. They just took me with them. I was 9, the other ones were probably 25.
Yeah.
And we were all just a happy group that just enjoyed the the activity of skateboarding. And so they started taking me with them on local competitions. And later, I was probably 13. That was 12. That was my first time on an international competition.
Whereabouts was that?
That was in France.
Okay, yeah.
And then, it kind of all started from there. I got my first international sponsor.
Which sponsor was that?
That was a brand called Rusty.
Yeah.
That was me.
I remember that.
Yeah. So that was really really cool. And then I remember I went with a guy called Leif Christian Torvik, and he was like my road dad.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. So we had a tour in France where we skated Marseille, like a really cool skate park.
That's also something I've been wondering about, sort of how your journey with snowboarding evolved alongside skateboarding. When did you pick up snowboarding, and how did they sort of co-evolve alongside each other over the years?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, skateboarding was summer and snowboarding was winter. I went to stand on a board on each season. Snowboarding started when I was on a winter holiday with my parents at Hovden, and I just saw someone sliding sideways on snow. It wasn't skateboard, and because I started snowboarding when I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 year later, just saw those guys riding down the slopes, and I want to try that. And so we rented a board, and I got hooked on that too. So I remember later that season, I was just like barging to my parents, and I want a snowboard. And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna go down and make a snowboard. So I went down to the basement, and we made a snowboard out of like a wooden plank.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with the cross-country bindings on.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was doing that every day when it was snow in Stavanger on that board. until I got a real one.
Oh, I love the ingenuity, just making your own board.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, we before there was wakeboards, we made our own. We call it a waterboard. So we made it with some planks from our cabin. Under the terrace, we found some planks and found some ropes, and just tied it to the boat, and it could barely stand, but it was because the engine wasn't big enough. It was just this makeshift solution.
It's
so I can relate.
It's really nice. Yeah.
1 year later, you started with snowboarding, and you had this makeshift board. When did you sort of purchase, or maybe you got it for Christmas or something? When did you get your own?
That was later that year when I was 10, and then we just some weekends we went to Sirdalen, the local mountain. So I wanted to go up there every weekend, which was nice. And a lot of the people I met in skateboarding also went snowboarding, so they started to take me with them too when they went up on night riding or in the weekends.
Yeah.
And then I got really fast into it, and I remember my first trip with snowboarding international was when I was 13, and that was with my sponsor Burton Snowboards. We went to I think it was Val d'Isère, I think. Yeah, that was a crazy experience. Never seen that big mountains. I was just so excited. I got height sick.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was just so excited about snowboarding. I just didn't drink any water. I was just like snowboarding all the time. And I remember we lived in a bunker, which was a interesting place. That was a great experience.
Just rewinding a little bit, you said you went on this trip with your sponsor, Burton. Sort of how did that come to pass? How did they sort of pick you up, or how does that sponsorship came to be?
It started in Sirdalen, and one of the guys in the snowboarding and skate community in Stavanger knew some people in Burton in Europe. So he was just talking to them and told there was a guy that could be interesting for you guys. And, so I got contacted from them, and it's just...
They come and do scouting then, or like see you in the slopes for like a period of time, or how does it work?
No, they've been seeing some film, I think.
Okay,
yeah. I can't remember exactly how it was, but I think that was one of the trips to Val d'Isère. kind of like a scouting, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I can definitely imagine that there was a lot of people in the skateboarding community who was also snowboarding, and then you sort of you bond during summer skateboarding, you bond during winter snowboarding.
Yeah.
In both cases, there's a lot of similarities, obviously, between skateboarding and snowboarding, and I would imagine there's also some, cross-pollination of skills. You learn one trick on skateboarding, and then it's somehow transferable over to snowboarding. Maybe you can speak to that.
Definitely. It's a lot of similarities, skateboarding and snowboarding. And I was doing skateboarding and snowboarding 50-50 for a long time, which was really nice, because then I compete in both and got on a big, like a good level in both snowboarding and skateboarding. And I think when I was 16, the level in snowboarding and skateboarding started to get so high that I kind of got pushed into to kind of choose which one am I going to go for. And then the sponsors had a big say in that decision as well.
Okay, yeah.
So I ended up changing my sponsors to a company called Quicksilver, because they did skateboarding and snowboarding.
And surfing as well.
And surfing as well. So it was easier to kind of, but it ended up in the end to be more snowboarding, which was really nice. And for sure I traveled with skateboard in my bag all the time, because the level got so high you couldn't be away for a half year.
Yeah, it required more focus.
A lot more focus, and you had to snowboard in the summers as well. So we usually went to New Zealand.
Yeah, how's the conditions in New Zealand?
Really nice.
I guess, it's a place that most people, I guess, don't think about as like a snowboarding or skiing destination. Same with Australia, but I know they have mountains there. So,
yes.
Maybe you could sort of paint a picture for us.
It's a really nice place for snowboarding and skiing. Like a lot of national teams go down there to a place called Wanaka. And that's like a small little village, and they have really good resorts.
Yeah.
But it's really weird coming from summer, and there's like you had a summer for 2 months, and then you're gonna go back to winter again.
Yeah.
But it's nice. New Zealand is a nice country.
There's a lot of extreme sports in New Zealand, so I would imagine there's a big community for skateboarding, snowboarding, all kinds of like action sports.
Yes, definitely. There is some good athletes from New Zealand, and one of the best ones right now is from Australia.
Oh, really?
Snowboarding, yeah, and skateboarding. So they have a lot of good action sports athletes.
You alluded to this during the conversation, various kind of highlights, competitions, trips, and stuff like that. But I would be curious to know what are sort of some of the main highlights for you during both skateboarding career and snowboarding career.
I'm really happy with my career, but I think my year in, let's take skateboarding first, was 2004. Then I won it was like a European tour. I won all the stops there and got Skater of the Year in Europe, which is probably one of the biggest achievements I have in skateboarding. I remember the final was in Rome, and my parents were down there. So that was really special for me. That's when I got like the Skater of the Year. So that's, I would say, 2004. And
you were 15 at the time, or?
Yeah.
So quite young, yeah.
Quite young, yeah. It started off early.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Maybe we can get into that also. I guess it's a lot to take in at a very early age. A lot of things happening very fast, as you mentioned. Starting out 9, 10.
Yeah.
And then being at a very high level in your career already just a few years later.
Yeah.
So things progress very quickly. How did that sort of, how did you digest that or think about that?
I just had to really focus on having fun. Like, I didn't really pay attention to everything around.
Yeah.
And competition. I loved competition. Like, for me, competition was to show everyone what I've been practicing on.
Yeah.
Not really like I'm gonna win. That was for sure the goal. But it's like everything around, like practicing a run, like tricks for this competition, and like working at that run for a while, and then landing it. That was just like, that's was kind of was driving me in competition. But yeah, I kind of understood a little bit more because the teachers weren't really thrilled because I was away a lot. I mean, no, they were really nice to me. Like they let me travel at a young age.
How did you manage that? Combining school and travel that much?
That was probably because I had nice teachers. So I always had homework with me, and sometimes we had teachers. And so it actually went well until I started when I was, I think it was 17.
Mm-hmm.
Started Norwegian sports school for snowboarding. It was like an athlete school. I think then I had 315 travel days a year.
That's quite
so
a
then
lot.
It was really hard combining. I just saw my grades went down in school, and my focus went down on, so that's when I skipped school and just focused 100% on snowboarding and skateboarding.
Okay, so around 17, yeah.
Yeah.
And we spoke about some of we spoke about the highlight within skateboarding. Maybe you want to mention one or a couple of highlights within snowboarding for you.
Snowboarding career, I'm really happy with two. Probably the two. I have a couple in snowboarding. It was a nice achievement to be joining the Arctic Challenge in Lofoten and Oslo and all the tour they had there, but also the Olympics, which is kind of like an opposite thing. It's a great achievement too, I think, and it's just like the road up to Olympics. It's like there is a lot of pressure, and it's a different thing compared to X Games or the other tours. And that feeling when you get it, it's like it's really, really nice. So the one in Torino when I was 17 in 2006, and in Vancouver 2010, it was just like a really nice experience to be there. You feel like you're like part of Norway.
yeah. Representing your country.
And see all the whole scene. It's ridiculous how big it is.
How big it is.
Yeah. And the differences between the 2006 Olympics and 2010, like a lot of changes happened.
In what way, or how so?
No, with snowboarding too. Like in 2006, it was more like layback in snowboarding. Like there was not that many trainers. There was trainers, but it was like more layback. 2010, it was more like then the physios came and
Kairos
it was more like you're part of like
a big team. Yeah,
a big team, and
the support group.
And the level went. Yeah, it was super high compared to 2006. So
why do you think that there was this acceleration in terms of level between those years? What sort of contributing factors do you think?
Like the professionalization of the sport, like suddenly came airbags that you can train on. Suddenly snowboarders started to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Technology for building jumps and half pipe got better. You can have more speed. We started to wax our boards that you can get. So it was
taking out all the margins.
Yeah. And then coaches started to film and like get really into finding out the small details. And just like everything got way more professional in a way. And that's probably why the level went
sky high. Yeah,
sky high, and the pipe got bigger. Everything got bigger. That means to have more airtime.
Was that exciting or also scary in a way, that everything is just bigger, more extreme, like a trick that was crazy maybe back in the day is now sort of, I guess, maybe normalized, and now you have to go bigger, higher, more extreme?
I think it's a combination. It was definitely exciting, but it was also scary because the consequences was way bigger. That's why you had to first you had to practice on a trampoline, and then you started practicing on an airbag in the slopes, and then you started to do it on real snow. So it's more steps to make it safer, but it was always way scarier.
Yeah.
Because the margins are so small. Like if you fall on your head from 10 meters, it's like not good.
Mm-hmm. Could be game over. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was some friends of mine that were really close to really hurt themselves. It makes you think as well. That's for sure.
It can get into your head, and I mean, it's in a good way because you need to be risk averse or at least manage the risk in a good way. But it can also get into your head and sort of mess with your head in terms of, okay, now I'm going to do this trick. Oh, what about this and this consequence again?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You fall, it's not only like a tweaked ankle anymore. It's like a ACL or a broken back, or the consequences were so big that sets you out from snowboarding or skateboarding. So you definitely think of it, but it's for sure exciting. It's super cool to see how the sport kind of progress.
When we talk about how the sport has progressed, and especially with snowboarding, I often think about when I was a kid playing PlayStation. We're playing this Cool Borders game, and I remember when we were playing, a couple of friends in a basement. We had so much fun playing the game, but we all agreed that these tricks are completely unrealistic. It's just too much, it's too high, too many spins and everything. And then fast forward maybe 10 years and people are doing these tricks and even going further now in real life.
Yeah.
It just, it blows your mind in a way.
It definitely does. And X Games, they've always been like a competition that pushes the sport. Mm-hmm. That's where all the new tricks lands. There's always another flip. It's always every day, every year, there's a new flip in the system, mm-hmm. which is crazy.
I can also really, I would say clearly remember when FOMO put the triple cork.
Yeah.
Oh, I stomped that, and it was like a paradigm shift in a way. And there's been so many of these, I feel, over the years that someone really pushed the envelope. And then everyone's like, wow, this is possible. And then all of a sudden, a lot of people are doing it.
You only need one guy who does it first. And then you're just like, see, everyone does it after. In Norway, we've been lucky. We have, like you mentioned, Horgmo and Markus Klevland's been a guy that's been pushing the sport, snowboarding forward. And it's crazy to see how far you can push it on this board,
It is.
I got to 2 flips, but I'm glad now I can sit in the sofa and watch them do 6.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
They must be spinning in their heads.
It's very difficult to understand, both in terms of flips, when you do like a quadruple cork or something like that, or you do maybe some people are doing more than 2,000 degrees spinning.
Yeah.
And sort of, how do you stop the rotation and how do you sort of, spot out the landing when you're spinning that fast? So many things going on at the same time. It's mind-blowing.
It is. It's a lot of technique, and they put their toes down, the edge. If they don't do that, you'd just be spinning when you land.
Okay.
So it's a crazy thing how they do it. And it hurts my knees when I just see them land with that rotation.
Yeah. I would imagine it's very easy to tear your ACL or something like that with spinning that much and then a sudden stop. Yeah. And then you can just,
Yes, that's been my problem. With injuries, it's the knees, ACL and meniscus, and that sets you out for months. 9 months.
Yeah, 9 months. Yeah, that's quite a lot, being a professional athlete.
Yeah, that is a lot. A lot of training. So I had my first ACL injury in 2007. So it was right after Olympics. I tore the ACL, and I was like, that was pretty new. So just like a lot of training for 9 months. And then I had a pretty good half year after, and then I tore the other knee.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was back on the training program a half year after, and I was like,
oh, that's a horrible setback.
Yeah, it is 100%. The worst thing there is that you know what you have to go through. First time you didn't know really.
Yeah, you don't know how bad it is.
Yeah, I know.
And how much time it's going to take.
All over again.
For the first knee and then the other one. Like, what was the situation that caused it to happen?
I was on a jump in Trysil, and I jumped too short. So I landed on like the
flat area.
On the flat area with spin, and it was just like a compression with twist, and you could just hear it burn.
Oh man!
Yeah, it's a weird feeling.
It sure is. Yeah, I've torn my ACL as well, so I can relate. I know the feeling.
Yeah. It's not good.
It's not good at all. For me, it's like this sense of your body or some parts of your body being in a position that it's not supposed to be, and it feels alien in a way.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a limb is sticking out in a different position than it's supposed to, and I don't know, it's this alien feeling of your body being like dislocated in a strange way.
Yeah, and it feels like jelly, kind of,
Yeah.
the whole knee. It's not a good feeling.
Oh.
So, but after the last one, they're being okay. Yeah.
What happened to the other knee then?
That was in half pipe.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much the same compression and rotation.
Oh, okay. Oh, at the top there.
Yeah,
At the
yeah.
ledge, sort of, yeah.
So that was a big setback.
And how does that affect you mentally afterwards? I mean, when you're going to go in and compete the next time, I mean, you've trained yourself, you sort of got back into shape, and now it's one of the first times that you're going to compete or maybe do some heavy lifting during training.
Yeah.
How does it affect you mentally?
It does affect you because you kind of have a hard time trusting your knee. You feel like it's not strong, but it is strong. So it's just like getting over that it's ready. With the first knee, I had a hard time getting back to actually trusting the knee, but it was definitely a challenge, that's for sure. But when you only need like a couple of hard landings, and it's actually fine. I just needed to warm up a little bit more and than others, and keep them warm. It was okay. I can stand now. I can walk, so it's okay.
Yeah, but building up that trust, I think, is key, definitely. And I guess for myself as well, when I've had injuries, just getting out again on the board as soon as possible before you manage to build up like this threshold or this fear or whatever you might call it, but just get out there immediately.
Yeah.
I've broken my wrist a couple of times, and I broke my wrist. And the same day as I removed the bandages and everything, I was in the slopes because I was so afraid that I was going to build up like this anxiety or this sort of this fear of starting. So I just want to start immediately.
Yes, I can relate to that. And that's like with every trick. If you fall on a trick and you're a little bit hurt, I'm still like, I need to go and do it again. If not, I'm going to be afraid of that trick.
Yeah, overcoming your own fears in a way.
Yeah.
But I mean, speaking of, we spoke a little bit about highlights. Speaking of downturns, we spoke a little bit about injuries, but are there other things that comes to mind during these years in skateboarding and snowboarding that was sort of like a downturn? Maybe something you learned something from, but just wanted to highlight both the highs and the lows.
The injuries, that's been my worst enemy. I actually been lucky with injuries. I haven't been hurt that much, but it's been the knees that have been taking a lot of
the heat, yeah.
A lot of the heat, yeah, and some concussions, but probably in the Olympics in Vancouver, that was a pretty what do I say, a down period too. Because with training, I felt really good before the Olympics, and it was the last practice day before the competition. I was like, okay, I feel good. Just going to do a couple of more. And I landed in the bottom of the pipe on my hip and then my head, and I got a concussion, like a really big concussion. I was out for, I don't know, a lot of minutes. And then, so I couldn't ride the competition.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was really bummer. I had to sit on the tribune and watch the competition. Yeah.
Oh.
It's something when, you've been practicing for a whole year and you feel like the competitions before went pretty good, and then you
feel in good shape. You're ready to show, as you said, you're ready to show off your training.
Yeah, and see how far you can go, and then you're like, no, you can't do it. So that was a bummer. But there's always another competition, so that's kind of how you're like trying to get away from those thoughts.
Yeah, I guess you have to sort of extract the positive things and sort of discard the negatives, and
as
far as possible, at least.
Definitely. It's mostly injuries, I would say.
Yeah.
The rest of their career has been really nice. Been a part of some great teams. I got a lot of friends. Got to travel the world. So it's been really really nice.
Earlier you mentioned the Olympics being sort of in I guess one end of the scale, and the Arctic Challenge, for instance, being in another end of the scale. Yeah. Maybe you could speak to sort of how they're different and in what way you appreciate the Olympics, for instance, in that category,
Yeah.
And in what way you appreciate, events like the Arctic Challenge?
It's definitely two different events. Like Olympics is run by FIS, which is federation that runs skiing and everything. And Arctic Challenge is run by snowboarders, and that's kind of what we're used to, the competitions. And there's a lot of thoughts about the Olympics and a lot of thoughts about being there or not being there. But the good part about the Olympics is that they also building the sport. Like a lot of more people get to see the sport.
Get inspired, more people start riding.
Definitely.
Builds the community worldwide, I guess.
It's a more laid-back competition, but it's and X Games. X Games is big as well, but it's more run by snowboarders. It's more like your home there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In snowboarding, a gold medal in Olympics kind of weighs up. I would say maybe X Games gold is a bigger achievement.
Yeah,
in snowboarding.
For maybe people listening in who may not be as familiar with the different competitions. Some may be familiar with how Olympics looks on TV. Some have heard about X Games. And maybe fewer people have heard about the Arctic Challenge, who are maybe not that deep into snowboarding. The way that it's arranged and the way that the competitions are held and how many runs you have and how you can pick the best runs and how the waiting times, the pressure, the non-pressure, the laid-backness.
The Olympics is a real big scene event, and it's definitely less practice, less riding, because it's a tight schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when we rode FIS competitions back in the day, we always said there's no bad weather in FIS. Because it didn't matter if it was storming or raining, or they were like, we're going to do this competition anyways. And that's why a lot of people got pissed about that, because we felt like they didn't take the risk and the athletes serious around that. And that's definitely the opposite of X Games. X Games, it's more like they know snowboarding 100%, and there is bad weather, they're not running the competition. And it's more like in a snowboarding vibe, and skiing, but it's like extreme.
You move it a couple of days, or shift things around. Athletes in the center.
But it's like don't get me wrong, but X Games too, it's really serious. Like it's a serious competition. It's professional, and it's the biggest competition in the action sport scene. And same in Olympics, they have really good judges, and it's a good vibe, but it is something different. But it's hard to say.
The pinpointed
ones. I had a great time in both.
How you train in both skateboarding and snowboarding to reach this kind of level? What are the things, the routines, what are the things that are involved to get to this kind of level? Maybe for people who are not that familiar with skateboarding and snowboarding, it can seem like a black box, so to speak, because you only see what you see on TV or in a film or something like that. But what's really behind all of this?
For myself, I didn't, like, when I started skateboarding, it was like get hours in on a skateboard. I skated like every day, like all the time. It wasn't any training inside of that. But that started in snowboarding. You really get into the Olympic Center, which and you get trainer, and you train every day during, like, when you're not on board. We usually train 2 times a day, and then you have some other activities. So it feels like you are like a real athlete.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to do that too, because, like I said, the level gets higher, the pressure gets bigger, like the compressions, I mean, when you land, like everything gets bigger, and you need to have that body ready for that.
Yeah.
Before, the jumps wasn't that big. It wasn't that much compression in the transitions and the jumps. Yeah, you could get away with it before, not going to the gym.
Putting in all the work.
And before, it also wasn't like you never saw a snowboarder or skateboarder at the gym. we're too cool for that, you know. It was more in the bar, you know.
In the slopes or in the bar?
Yeah. After the Olympics and everything, and the level gets higher, it's like being a alpine skier or a cross country skier. It's training and food programs and physios and stretching lesson. Like, yeah.
Do you focus a lot on balance exercises?
Yeah,
is that a big part of it?
Yes, there's a lot of balance exercises and a lot of core training for sure. Squats.
Yeah, a lot of squats.
A lot of squats to so you can take the landings, the hard landings, and there's a lot of exercises how you can jump higher.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so you want to be light and strong. That's the goal in skateboarding and snowboarding.
Could you exemplify some exercises that you do to sort of be able to jump higher? To sort of, I guess, work on that? Yeah,
it's explosive stuff. So not only like how much you can have on your squats. Like it's more like squats, but then like the explosive stuff. So there's a lot of stuff like that, and it's a lot of jumping around pretty much.
Jumping over these
over these things and boxes and just like timing. Timing on your jump. It's definitely a lot of like core and stability training.
Do you do reaction training as well? Like, for instance, if you say, let's say someone driving a Formula 1 car, for instance, they have these insane reactions that you can drop something and they will, grab 5 things before they land to the floor. And I would imagine that, when you do a very difficult trick, maybe flips and spins and everything, there's a lot of coordination. There's a lot of like eye, body, mind coordination. Everything needs to be, I guess, in sync.
Yeah.
Do you focus on sort of coordinating exercises or doing difficult things or complex things very quickly or stuff like that as well?
Not really. I haven't.
No?
And I don't know other people have does that, but it's more timing. Timing and mobility and strength where you need them. Because if you're going to do a 1640, there's a lot of rotation and you need to do it on the split second on the takeoff. And if you miss it, you're not going to spin 1640. And when you're spinning, we use a lot of like trampolines and to get like the room vision, like to know where you're at.
Yeah.
And that's just you have to do the trick 100 times over and over again. And then you see more and more and more and more.
When you do the tricks on trampoline, do you first do it like without the board and then you strap on a board? And like, how do you transition?
We don't use board on trampoline. It's more like just like be ready for doing a double flip, for example. You want to do a double flip on trampoline first, and then you do it on an airbag, and then you try without the airbag. And it's crazy when you do the first 2 spins. You don't see too much until you land. And it's like, but then you do it over and over again, and then you see more.
It's like everything goes more in slow motion. You can notice everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Body and mind is fascinating.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Did you have any like specific preparations that you did prior to a competition? Or maybe there was something in particular prior to a big competition? I'm not sure if you sort of differentiate between the two. Like some specific routines, like whenever I'm going to go to X Games, I always need to do these things to feel ready.
No, I always like to have a good time before the competition, like so I don't have to like stress things. That's like the same in skateboarding and snowboarding. I remember one time in skateboarding competitions, like a period, I had to do 10 kickflips before I started the run.
Yeah.
And if I missed one, I had to start over again.
Over again, yeah.
Yeah. It was a part of a warm-up too, but it was in my head as well. It got in my head after.
I can imagine.
Yeah, you get something like that, but I didn't really have like a proper routine. It was more like have good time, just try and relax as much as I could and focus.
Did you have like a favorite song that you put on or something like that to get you into the mood or the vibe or?
Yeah,
did you relax? Or?
Yeah, I remember I had at that time I listened to Turbo Negro.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it was to get me excited for
pumped up. Yeah.
pumped up. Yeah, for the competition. And actually, you rode with music as well. You had in your ears.
When did that start? I feel like when I watch competitions, at some point, like everyone seemed to do it, but prior
Yeah.
to that, nobody was doing that.
No,
So
no, no.
how did that sort of?
It probably started when the iPod came.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Ah, that makes sense. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So, but it's funny when you ride with it, you hear it at start, but once you drop in, you don't hear anything.
100%
You're
focused.
so in the zone that you're like you could have had, and it doesn't matter what music you would have.
I don't know if you talk to friends in the community about this, but do you feel that it's like that for everyone, or maybe you had like a laser focus and other people are experience it in a different way?
I haven't talked about that with other people, but I would definitely think it's pretty common.
Everyone doesn't have the possibility to dedicate all their time to training. Maybe have other commitments or they're not professional yet. So I would guess that a lot of people would wonder if you could only do 20% of the activities that you would do when training towards skateboarding and snowboarding to get the most out of the results. What would you focus on? What would be the 20% that gave the most effect, do you think?
Prior to the activity or with the activity?
Let's say you want to get a lot better in snowboarding and you don't have the time to put in the work like every day and do all the exercise and all the preps. But what would be, if you could only put in 20% of the, I guess, the effort that you've been putting in, where would you put that focus? Like what would be the key exercises both in the gym and otherwise, maybe some, mental training if that's important, or maybe in the slopes you should, try to do these activities to sort of really propel yourself.
I would say be the most on your board.
Okay, yeah.
Be as much as you can on the board, and focus on having fun on the board.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have fun on anything, you don't want to go the extra mile. And for sure, the gym it's really important too. But you being on a board constantly for a day, it's a good gym as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And stretching and mobility training as well. But I would say being on the board.
It reminds me of, I saw this documentary once with Laird Hamilton, like this big wave surfer.
Yeah.
And there was a person, Tim Ferriss in this case, who was trying to learn big wave surfing in 1 week. Like how much can he learn in 1 week with Laird Hamilton being his teacher. And I remember he was, struggling a lot, of course, in the water and, trying to pick up some of the basics. And at the end, there was going to be like a competition or a challenge to see how far he had come. And he was really mentally preparing for like a very difficult session that he was going to have and all these challenges and all these tricks he was going to do. And then Laird said, the main challenge is for you to have fun. Have as much fun as you possibly can on the board. It just reminded me of what you're basically saying. So the way to propel forward is, try to focus on enjoying it.
Definitely.
And having fun with it.
Because if you lose the fun, you're not going to make what you kind of like. You're not going to go that extra mile, or you need to have fun. That's kind of with everything.
Yeah, I think if you don't love what you do, you will never be the best at it. I mean, you could be pretty good, but you're never going to be the best.
That's right.
Because there will be, crappy days every now and then.
Yeah, definitely.
And speaking of, maybe tough days, you mentioned at some point you traveled more than 300 days per year.
Yeah.
Maybe you could speak to us about, life on the road.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of traveling days, which was really, I mean, it's a gift to be able to like travel and see the world and doing what you love. But it is not always fun. There's always something that stops you, or long travel days, and it was fun on the road because I usually traveled with my friends, and we got to do like see places, We lived pretty close to each other. Wasn't fun all the time. So it's not always glamour and nice hotels, that's for sure. And but it's been really really nice to travel around and being with the national team and being with my teammates at sponsors, and it was like a good mix. The worst part is if the airline loses your bag, for example, and you have 2 days until a competition. I remember I was going to Japan. That was actually really like a nice trip. We were going to take photos for a catalog, and we got to Japan, and it was like the conditions were perfect. It was like 2 meter powder. Yeah. It was sunny, and then I didn't get my bag, and I was like, "Oh my God, we're going to be there for 2 days, and come on." So I had to rent the board, and I rent shoes, which is the worst. And that was a bummer, but it still was really fun. So things like that could happen. That was not the worst, but it's worst if in front of a competition and you lose like a practice day, or that's probably the worst.
Looking from the outside, people will say, it must be very challenging traveling so many days during a year. But I guess when you're traveling with friends and with the community and a lot of people you will probably see over and over again, that maybe not part of your, I guess, local community, but part of your international community. It's a different thing. It's like being on a guys trip a lot of the times during the year. I mean, you're just having fun with your buddies. And happen to be snowboarding.
Yeah, and that's what's good with snowboarding too. Like I talked about the skateboarding culture, but same in snowboarding too. Like it is one of the best cultures. It doesn't matter if we do a competition or whatever. We're all friends with everyone, and we're supporting each other in the competition. And not that many sports have that. I mean, it's fun to win, for sure it is. Everyone wants that. But it's like if your buddy does, you're like supporting him, you're like rooting for him. Like that's cool. And that's a really nice thing about snowboarding and skateboarding.
The culture has a completely different vibe, as you say.
Really. You can see that at Olympic level, you can see it at a national competition, or it's all the same. So that's really nice.
When you travel, do you travel with the sponsors or partners as well? Are these sort of part of the, I guess, the bigger team or the community as such? Or how does that work? And what would you say has been the role of sponsorships and partnerships in your journey, in your careers?
It's two parts. Like you have the national team that you travel with. That's like we travel to New Zealand with the national team, and to all those bigger competitions, like the competition that ends up with the Olympics. And then you have the sponsors, for example, X Games. Then you usually travel with your sponsors.
Okay.
Before, at least. But now I think it's more national team does everything. And it's photo shoots for catalogs or
movies or films.
Movies or films, and just campaigns for your sponsors. And
are the films often sort of orchestrated or facilitated through the sponsors, or?
Yes, they are. So I was filming for Standard Films, and then it was the sponsor who paid for my spot.
Okay, yeah.
At the film, and that was a big part of my career as well. Filming for Standard Films, we had a base in Tahoe.
Okay, yeah.
Where we just traveled from, and it was all filming for a year.
So you filmed for a year to make this one movie?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
We did some competitions in between, but it was mostly filming and being on a snowmobile.
Yeah.
Far away from the city, and that was really cool. Like you have your trick list, and you want to get this through the season.
Yeah.
And like finding the best conditions.
Yeah.
It's like being far out in the Wild West and building jumps, and
that's a completely different aspect of the sport.
100%.
And of a career like that. I mean, yeah.
And it was more of that before, because then I remember when I was a kid, I was like, I know at the end of the season there's going to come a movie. I can buy it down at the local snowboard shop. And I was like waiting for that, you know? And it was like 4 companies that was big. They made snowboard movies or skate movies. So that's kind of changed when Instagram and YouTube and all that came.
Yeah.
And all the kids now these days, they want to have it like every day, new stuff, you know?
Yeah, there's less waiting, less anticipation.
Yeah, so
and I guess more people producing content. Yeah.
Yeah. So now that kind of business is not that big anymore, that people actually do filming. There's still some that does it, which is cool, but it's something different these days.
When you do a film like that, is it the people who join in the film, are they sponsored by the same sponsor or same group of sponsors, or how does like the group come together for this film?
You have those movies that only, for example, say Burden or Vimana can make like their own movie, which is like Burden or Vimana movie. Or you have, for example, Standard Films that you have different writers
across different sponsors and
different
teams.
Sponsors. Yeah. That's really cool. Like you get this dynamic that you start to ride with him. Like you ride with him and you're like, it's a real cool experience.
Yeah. How does it come together? Is it someone who decides like, okay, we're going to go to these and these locations. I would love for you to do this trick and this guy to do this trick. Or do they sort of pull you in and say, you know, what do you got for me? You know, how does it work?
It's a good dynamic there when you have the filmer. Like, for example, you have Standard Films, that's like the company, and they have different filmers. And you probably get set up with a guy that writes pretty much the same as you. And then you're kind of like, okay, where's the best conditions? Right now, we have some thoughts. We know if it gets good there, we should go there and we can build that, or we can build, different stuff. But then it's up to me, for example, to like, what am I going to do? What kind of tricks? So I have my own list, what I want to do, and kind of working together. The biggest achievement in a movie is to have the first part or the last part. The first
okay,
or
the first or
part.
the last. Okay,
that was like the two ones you wanted to have.
Okay.
And that depends on your level of writing that year, how many tricks you have on film, how big tricks you have on film.
Why is that? I mean, it makes sense. You want to be, have the first because people don't look through the whole movie. Then at least you saw the first part. But what about the end of the movie? Like, this is the last thing you remember after seeing the movie?
Yeah, it is the ender, which is like, that's a big thing. It's like having the cover on a magazine. That's also a big achievement when you get that in the action sport industry.
It's fascinating with the movies. I remember I used to watch a lot of these skateboarding and especially snowboarding movies. And as you say, very often they tend to happen in Vancouver, for instance, or in Alaska. And there was a lot of the heli rides and people sort of helicopter dropping from very steep mountainsides and then picked out this specific line that was very difficult. And very often it wasn't that many tricks. It was just extreme riding in very steep terrain and beautiful mountains, beautiful nature, beautiful scenery. It was super inspiring.
Definitely, that's a big part of snowboarding too. I wasn't a big mountain rider, been doing some, and that's like a real experience when you take a heli up and the pilots just put their heli skis on top of the mountain and just jump out and bye-bye, have fun.
Sort of hovering over.
And then just phew.
That looks amazing. And I mean, in the past, there was so much costs involved, as far as I could understand, with especially with the helicopters. Super expensive. You need to have a pilot, and then all this kind of equipment, like some guy hanging out of the helicopter to do the filming and everything. And now you have the drones and the gimbals and everything. So it changed dramatically.
It's definitely a change.
Yeah.
I remember before we had, for example, on a park kicker, we had helicopters that filmed. But now there's not many helicopters flying over snowboards anymore. It's only drones and follow cam and all that stuff.
I guess in many ways it started with the GoPro, maybe. At least that's one of the things I can remember. Then everyone was a camera guy, basically. And then of course you had the drones later on, but the scene changed quite a lot after GoPro came on.
Definitely, and I felt before it was like getting the most like standard film. They filmed with a 16mm film, like it wasn't digital, and you couldn't get that on a drone. There was like crazy cameras on the helicopters, But now it's like I was talking about before, when the kids and the audience, they want fast, honest content. That's pretty much what they want. They want to see it like every day. When someone lands a trick, he doesn't hold it secret until the movie is out. He posts it the day after.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy how that's been affecting the film industry for action sports.
I guess people can come closer to the athletes, or
Yeah.
not just athletes, but in general, you come closer to the different people that you find inspiring.
Yeah.
Because you can sort of see who are they behind the scenes, what are they doing today.
Yeah.
You get more sort of the human aspect.
Definitely.
I guess in the past you only saw like the top highlights.
Yeah.
And you had no idea how did they get there or what
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
in between.
Yeah. Yeah, now you see everything.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Going into skateboarding and snowboarding professionally requires a lot of dedication. We talked about fun being a very key part. Would you say that has been the driving force for you, or are there other things that you want to sort of mention?
It's definitely the fun part, to have fun, but also like the achievement side as well.
Yeah.
Like winning a competition makes you even more hungry. You feel like the work you've been doing, you get it back.
Yeah. You're rewarded for
for all
the hard work.
Yeah. But I mean, if I didn't have fun with what I did, I would never get as far.
So the fun is like the fundament.
Yes, I would say that.
Yeah.
For me it's that. And that's not only snowboarding or skateboarding, that's what I do in general. I'm not saying I need to have everything fun, but it's like it has to be the fundament if you want to succeed in something.
So competitive guy, fun is fundamental, yeah?
Yeah. I would say that.
When you've been snowboarding and skateboarding, the fundament was having fun. And then one of the driving forces was you competing, getting the chance to show off what you've been training for. And if you win, it's like an exhilarating feeling. And you feel that you got rewarded for all the training. And now that you're not a professional athlete anymore, you do other activities. Because now you're not doing competitions, but you can compete in a different way, or maybe there's some other driving force.
For sure, still like having fun, and now I don't really have the competitive thing in snowboarding and skateboarding at least. But it's the same thing with what I do now with Playground and all that. Putting a lot of hard work into it, and it's nice to see you get rewarded with it. My reward is to see people having fun.
Yeah.
With that.
Seeing that other people are having fun. It's like there's a bridge between the two, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Fun always been the fundament, and now sort of carrying that forward to others. Yeah.
Definitely like being focused.
Having a specific goal, is that important to you?
Yeah, to have a specific goal and be able to like block out stuff, like just focus on that one thing 100%. That was one of my things too. I could be like at the starting gate, for example, talking to people, just like smile and talk to people. And then you have other ones that has to standing for an hour by themselves and like really getting into the mode. I kind of got really fast into the mode. I could block it out and
make the switch like a light switch almost.
Yeah, for me, like being by my own and being super serious and not talk to people, that didn't work for me. I wanted to have it as normal as possible, as close to my time to drop in.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, okay, let's go.
That's the best way for you to warm up.
Yeah. And the same with different stuff as well. It's just technique to kind of like block out stuff.
I think relaxation is maybe a key part in it. I mean, you want to be, focused and sharp, but you also want to be relaxed.
Definitely.
Social interactions and just getting out of your own mind. Because I guess when having conversations with like buddies and just before you're going to drop in, you maybe don't want to be like inside your mind thinking about, I have to do this and I shouldn't do this and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And you get out of your own mind if you talk to the people around you.
You need to like trust yourself that you've been doing the work. You're warm and
when I drop in, it's going to happen. Just trust the process.
Trust the process. That's important.
Yeah. What is Uro Studios?
Uro Studios is a clothing and shoe brand from Stavanger, Norway. It's a team set together with me and Trond Erik Husveg and Per Bendiksen and Per Kjærstad and Per Reime.
Big group.
Big group that has a lot of fun. And it's an all-vegan brand. It's hand-tailored in Portugal. It's actually a company that's... Uro means it has different meanings.
Mm-hmm.
It can be in a negative way. It can be in a fun way.
Fun is the red thread, I feel.
It is, and it's like the fear. Uro is kind of like fear, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the fear of kind of missing out on a activity, or a fear of missing out on doing what you like.
So yeah, you have like an Uro spirit, sort of. Yeah, I don't want to miss out on anything. I want to be, part of whatever's happening.
For example, injuries, or you're like fear of missing out on doing what you love, pretty much.
How did this group of people come together to establish or create Uro?
It was Trond, Eric, and Per that came up with the idea and pitched this for me. I really felt it.
Mm.
And I jumped on board, and it's been a really nice flight.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of fun. It's nice seeing people wearing our clothes and thinking it's cool. And it's definitely something else that I've been doing before. I mean, I've been involved in clothing with the sponsors.
Yeah, maybe you can speak to that a little bit as well. We haven't touched on that. How your involvement was in developing products alongside sponsors and partners.
That's definitely a big part of being a team writer for a brand, let's say Quicksilver. So we had a lot of meetings. We helped them design, try out outerwear, and we always tested the gear a year before. It was also a teaser kind of for what's going to come next year.
Yeah.
So all the riders had next year's gear, and that was for testing and to show people how it's going to be. And the same is with snowboards.
Mm-hmm.
Test boards, we're in the process of designing how they're going to be, how much radius, how stiff they're going to be.
Mm.
This board doesn't work, this does, and all that. So it's a really interesting part of being a team rider. And then we usually have a photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
With Quicksilver, I usually went to New Zealand, stayed there for a couple of weeks, and I took photos of clothing, all from action and just hanging around. It was way more mellow than being on a competition.
When you are product developing and designing alongside a sponsor, what things do you sort of focus on? Let's say on the jacket or on the trousers, on the shoes. What are the factors you're looking for?
Yeah,
for it to be good.
It definitely has to be functional. You don't want the jacket to stand in the way for
different kinds of movements.
For movements and all that, and you don't want to have a heavy jacket. You want to have as light as possible, and for sure it has to be warm. So like find the balance there. Snowboard's been growing up now, so it's more like Gore-Tex and pretty plain clothing, I would say. Before it was all like a crazy collars.
Crazy collars and patterns and everything, I remember.
Big pants and big jackets. And heavy stuff,
Yeah.
But now it's more... You can't have that on if you're going to do a 1640. You need to have...
Yeah, it needs to be super light,
Light
and flexible.
And flexible and all that. So it's definitely going that direction.
I remember, especially with the snowboard shoes, we used to call them moon boots because they were so huge in the beginning, right?
Yeah,
and then year after year, now it's almost like a regular shoe.
Yeah.
It's so super light and tight.
Oh, you got me on mind something. We were on like a development meeting with Quicksilver. We got really in the mode, like around like a round table. And I was sitting there with the designers, and I was like, hey, we should make it like a moon suit. That would be sick, like a gray shiny one with like a hoodie, and it had to have stuff you can take around your boots, and it had to have like a display that you can steer music.
From the arm, yeah, cool.
Yeah, and inside the hoodie has to be speakers, and it's gonna be amazing. And I was kind of like a little bit joking and like but they get so excited on it, and suddenly they made it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. And I was like, wow, okay. All right.
All right.
I don't know if it sold that good. We've been having some cool trips with sponsors doing catalog shoots. Remember one time we were in like the Wild Wild West in Argentina.
Oh, yeah.
So we flew to Argentina, and we drove from the airport. We drove probably for 6 hours. Got to like somewhere in the you had no clue where it was, and there was like cowboys standing there with wild horses, and they gave us some horses to ride, and we were like a little bit tired after flying long, and they were like, "That's your horse." You're going to sit on this and we're going to go far away into the wild.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, but I thought it was going to be like a 2-hour horse ride because I've never been on a horse before. I mean, it's a long time ago, but I never, yeah. But it was a 9-hour horse ride.
Thanks for letting me know up front.
Yeah. Into a place where there wasn't electricity.
What was the setting? Why?
It was taking photos of next year's outerwear.
Okay. Yeah.
For catalogs and campaigns and everything.
Yeah,
and
what a cool experience, eh?
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
But 9 hours on a horse first time, wow.
Aye. It wasn't really nice. You felt that the day after, that's for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Just had to trust that horse because I had no clue how to ride that horse. And yeah.
I remember once I went to Uganda and I went to this small village where they had horses and they were like, what do you want to do for fun? We have horses, and I'd never been riding a horse myself either. So I went on the horse, we went for a little ride, and then there were some cows nearby, and apparently there's no cows there naturally. So the horses have never seen cows before. So to them, it was like an alien creature. So the horse panicked and went up like this.
Yeah.
And I almost fell off. I mean, I had no clue how to ride the horse or whatever I was supposed to do, but I managed somehow to stay on the horse. But when the horse did this, the cow panicked. And this was on top of a hill. So the cow just went off the cliff and just started rolling down the hill into some bushes. And I looked to the guy in front of me who was sort of telling us where to go. And I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
And he pretended like nothing happened and we just rode on. What's the plans moving forward for Uro Studios? How do you go about marketing or, I guess, showcasing it? How do you sort of spread it to people?
Tronna is really good at doing campaigns and all that. So it's mostly direct sales through our website, urostudios.com. We're trying to link as much people in there. In the start, we did a lot of events.
Tell me about one of the events. Maybe you can add some color to it.
The Uro events is always fun. It's all about having fun and show the brand the best way. I mean, it's a good combination with good people, live music, good drinks. Yeah, it's always been a good vibe.
We need to talk about the playground as well. And for people who don't know, what is playground?
Playground is activity center for action sports, individual sports. So it's a big arena, 3,500 square meters, just outside Stavanger, which is filled with climbing walls. We have a big skate park. We have trampolines. We have via ferrata that you can walk.
Yeah.
We have zip line. We have a gym, all put together in a box. So I kind of got this idea many years ago. I was based in the US a lot, and concepts like that is pretty common there, where they put a lot of individual activities in one box and see how they like connect each other. And I think I find it really, really cool. You get there and you're going to go on skateboarding, for example, and then you see a climbing wall. I'm going to try that. And you feel like there's a lot of similarities. The cultures fit good together. It's a social, for example, climbing and skating is like, it's a lot about being social and to do your activity. And then you're social, is stand there, talk with your friends.
Yeah.
Many years ago, kind of when I started to feel old in the snowboarding business, and so all the youngsters just phew. And then I got to Norway, and I actually took a bachelor degree in sports management.
Okay, yeah.
In Oslo on the last time of my career. And then I started really to think about this idea, like Norway needs a place like this. It was really important to me to kind of get the culture into, not only like, here's trampoline, here's like to really get this community, and everyone is welcomed, and it's going to be about building the community bigger. If it's skateboarding community or it's the climbing community, and get more people to do the sport. And I felt like Stavanger was the perfect city to start a place like that. Not because of it's raining 200 days a year, but it's but I know
helps.
It helps a lot because we need inside activities there in this town. It was also like I knew it was a big fundament of extreme sport community, if it's surfing or if it's skateboarding or if it's climbing or all those sports.
It's really cool to have a sort of a home base for these communities. Like
Yes.
there's a place you can go where you can meet people, hang out, talk, eat, just, be part of that atmosphere.
Yeah.
And also, helping, I guess in a way I would say that you're paying it back maybe to the community. I mean, when you were young, as you mentioned earlier, people who were older were sort of taking you on, being your mentor.
Yeah.
And now you're sort of paying it forward by, being a mentor to all these kids and, creating a space for them to develop themselves and a community for them to sort of be aware of the different action sports and try out and, learn from each other. And yeah.
So that's what we're all about. Playground is like recruiting people in, getting people to know about our sport, if it's skateboarding or climbing or just having fun jumping in trampolines and a net park. It's all having fun and make it easy for people to come there and try out all these amazing sports. And for sure, there was lack of indoor activities for especially skating. So it's nice to have a place and see the new generation grow up. But playground isn't just the arena you just pay a drop into. We have courses. We have
a summer school as well,
summer
right?
school. Yeah, we have skate schools. We have climbing schools. We have scoot schools, multi-sport schools, and memberships. You can even have your birthday at playground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's a lot of different stuff we try to do. An event is a big thing too that we do, from small scale towards recruiting young athletes, and to bigger events like put in music, and we kind of make something for the community and for everyone to have fun.
Yeah, I think that would be great, building on that moving forwards, having some parties there and stuff like that for people to, draw even more people in and also celebrate the people who are already part of the community, so to speak.
Yeah. That's on the program.
Yeah, cool.
For sure. Music is a big part of the culture as well.
If I'm not mistaken, you also hosted Stavanger Open skateboarding competition this year?
Yes.
Maybe you can speak to that.
Yeah, that was really nice. Stavanger Open has always been a big competition in my life. That's kind of where that was my first skateboarding competition. So it's nice to being a part of the organizing part of Stavanger Open this year, and to have it at playground was really nice. So it was a bowl in Tasta, where it was the old skatepark where I grew up, and then we had street at playground, which was really fun to see. Proper skating and stuff there. That was really, really nice.
That's a great thing if playground can be that place. The host competitions, have events, do all the schools, and merge create a community across the different sports.
Yeah, that's what we tried to do, and just keep the stoke alive for people.
Yeah.
Don't forget the fun.
Absolutely. And speaking of which, who have inspired you the most maybe so far?
I guess there's a lot of things that's inspiring me. It's like those type of people that really, really gives it all to achieve something, not only for themselves, but like other people too, and gets excited about it. And there's for sure like athletes that go their own way, like Terry Hawkinson, Daniel Frank, one of my best friends, Mikkel Bang, that goes just all in their own direction.
Yeah.
And another guy that inspires me too is the guy who took me on my first skate trip, Leif Christian Tovik.
Yeah.
He's
one of the OGs.
One of the OGs. He actually got first place in the European Championship in skating. He has really athlete mind that inspires me a lot. Like, he is pushing 50 and is still he still goes for it. Like, he has his goal. I remember now the last one was a big gap at Tasta.
Yeah.
Like a big transition. He was going to jump on a skateboard, and I went with him a couple of times, and he was like, oh no, I need more speed. So he's actually went home, built his own dropping ramp, went there, brought a stoke man, and actually did it.
Oh wow!
You know, awesome. And that's really cool. Like, it was him awesome. And the small kids, and he's been thinking about that for many years. It just hasn't been the right time, and he's like, okay, let's go.
That's cool. Still in it, still giving it 100%.
That's inspiring.
All right. So what's next for you? What's next for Fredrik?
Getting playground where it's supposed to be. Pretty much. That's the main goal right now.
As you mentioned earlier, having this singular focus make things easier, crystallizes the path, right?
that's the main focus area, and definitely try and stay as healthy as I can. Skateboard a lot. Can't wait for the winter to come to go do snowboarding. Being with my kids and just have
Enjoying
fun.
life.
Enjoy life.
All right, Fredrik, it's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
How can people reach out? Where can they find you online if they want to connect or see what you're up to?
They can connect with me on Instagram, just Fredrik Austbø.
We'll leave some of the links in the show notes afterwards.
Yeah, definitely.
But thank you very much for taking the time.
No worries. It was great talk.
If you appreciated that, then click here for more content like this. Go on, click it. And don't forget to subscribe. Be well.